Michigan State playing Iowa. The 76ers against the Celtics. The Knicks versus the Lakers. Teddy Covers will be joining us to tell you exactly how to bet those three games. Kyle Anthony after him. He's got a look at two UFC fights. He's going to tell you how to bet those. Andy Lang with some prop bets. We're going to end the show with Gianni The Greek. I'm Lawrence Presman. Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today, the best daily sports betting show on the planet. If you've never bumped into this channel, you stay with us till the end. We are a show about making you money, and I don't say that lightly. We take this seriously. We put in a lot of work, and there's very few better than the great Teddy Covers. Teddy, welcome to WagerTalk Today. Nice to have you. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right, Lawrence. I had a frustrating half-point loss last night that's annoying me because I should have won that game. That being said, whatever my thing is going, it's better than your haircut right now. What's going on with your hair, dude?
I don't know, dude. Like I'm not having a good day, a hair day. I know something is wrong. Like
yes,
it's not like flipping well. Yesterday as well, I didn't have that correct flip, but I'm growing my hair, Teddy. You know, you've known me for a long time, and every 7 years I grow my hair. So, yeah, I'm not going to grow it into a ponytail. I'm not growing it that long. No, the ponytail days are
long
behind
hair looks a lot
me.
better before you turn gray, Lawrence. Just an FYI.
Yes, it does. Okay, so guys, feel free to critique my hair. Welcome to the chat room, everybody. If you don't mind, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. Lots of love to all of you guys. Teddy Covers, let's get straight into some actionable betting information. We've got Michigan State, the number 8 ranked team in the league. They're a -7, give or take. They're playing Iowa tonight with a fairly substantial total of 152 and a half. And this Michigan State team is an ATS machine this year, Teddy. 19-9 covering the spread. Iowa only 10, 18-1. How do you suggest we bet this game?
Well, I'm going to start with this. Michigan State's playing for the Big Ten title tonight. I ain't fading them in this role. Plain and simple. Sparty's 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread the last 5. That includes road wins at Michigan, at Maryland, and at Illinois. 2 of them by double-digit margins. They arguably have just faced the 5 best teams in the Big Ten, and they just beat them all. All right. Sparty live for a deep run. That being said, Fran McCaffrey's squad's given them all kinds of trouble in recent meetings. In fact, Iowa, lowly Iowa, well, not lowly Iowa, but mediocre Iowa, 5-1 straight up the last 6 meetings against Sparty. The only loss came by a single bucket back in 2023. That being said, current form, no comparison. We talked about Sparty, what they're doing. Iowa, 5-1 ATS, their last 6 at home. Now, Sparty has already clinched a share of the title. If they lose tonight, that gives Michigan a chance to share it with them when the 2 teams meet this weekend. And obviously the in-state arch rival. Is that a look ahead for Sparty? Well, let's see what Tom Izzo had to say about that. Quote, well, there's other goals that we have. Playing better all the time so we get more prepared for the tournaments that are coming up. When it's one bad day, when it's one bad half, and you're out. Izzo continued. It's exciting to be in this position. I'm not making it a bigger deal or a smaller deal. I'm making this is why you came here. This is what we do here. We don't hang things of records. We hang things of championships. And, oh, by the way, one last quote from Izzo. Quote, we're nowhere near peaking. And, of course, the Spartans go 10 deep. They're not a team that I worry about rest situations. And the Spartans play defense in a way that is likely to give Iowa problems. In conference play, Michigan State has held opponents to 26.6 shooting from three-point range. Wisconsin just went 5 of 32 against them. Iowa's game plan, look, it's senior night for the Hawkeyes, okay? They've got some good seniors. They've been there. It's not a scenario where I'm going to bet against Fran McCaffrey's squad lightly here. But Iowa's got to hit threes in order to beat Michigan State, and no one's hitting threes against Michigan State right now. Yes, the Hawkeyes have a little bit more rest. And yes, there are concerns about the series history here, but I ain't fading Sparty in this game. It's Michigan State or pass for this better.
Teddy Covers joining us, everyone. Really quick, Timmy Slim writes in the chat room, Prez, I'm on a 3-day losing streak. Give me a shout out and it will turn around tonight. There's your shout out, my friend. I'm also on a 2-day losing streak, so I'm hoping that shout out works for both of us. Teddy Covers, let's turn our attention to the Philadelphia 76ers on the road, playing the Boston Celtics tonight. And Boston, well, they lost 2 in a row and then bounced back in typical Boston fashion, beat Denver 110-103, beat Portland by 10 straight points. They're a double-digit favorite at home. The total around 220. Man, this Philadelphia 76ers team is horrible. 2 losses in a row, 9 of 10. Where are you going here?
So let's talk about the Celtics and the Sixers. First, I do want to give you guys a couple of promo codes. All right. For NBA, how about this? Sport 7 gets you $20 off any NBA 7-day pass. Sport 125 gets you $125 off an NBA season pass. So Sport 7, $20 off 7-day NBA. Sport 125, $125 off the rest of the season. You can use those right now at WagerTalk.com. Use it for me or any of the cappers on the website. My March is going pretty good so far. 67% for the month. My NBA is running pretty good. 61% over the last 3+ weeks. And of course, long term, the NBA has been nothing short of outstanding. Just shy of 200 units of profit for myself and my clients in the NBA since 2022. We've got Boston on the second of back-to-backs. They have the Lakers on deck. National TV showdown on Saturday night back at home. They beat Philly by 20 in the first game back over the All-Star break, and they won last night by 10. When we talk about urgency, this isn't a spot where I see urgency for Boston. And when you talk about bad point spread records, this is Boston off a win this year. Full season. They've won 43 previous games before last night. They've covered the spread in the next one exactly 12 times. 12, 30, and 1 against the spread off a win. Only the Phoenix Suns have been worse. Both teams with significant injury concerns. And this line is likely to move before tip-off, one way or the other, based on who's playing and who isn't. Now, the Celtics won last night by double digits at home against Portland. They were missing Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jason Tatum. 3 starters, 3 elite starters. What happened? Well, Peyton Pritchard had a career-high 43 in that ball game. Derek White, I believe, also had a career-high in that contest. And between them, they hit 19 three-pointers. Boston is a team that is, in one sense, injury-proof because they have the depth. But second of back-to-backs off a showing like that last night, laying double digits here, given Boston's track record in roles like this. And oh, by the way, second of back-to-backs and the Lakers on deck. This is not a let's lay a bunch of points with the Celtics kind of spot. It isn't. Now, Philly's as injured as any team in the league. Tyrese Maxey just went down. He fell and landed on his back. Paul George came back for a couple of minutes, and then he left the game in the fourth quarter when his groin tightened. Don't know if either one of them is going to play for Philadelphia tonight. I wouldn't expect it. Well, Maxey's not going to play. I don't know that if George is going to play or not. Everyone's questionable. So we don't know right now who's playing. What I do know is that Quentin Grimes is playing really well for Philadelphia. And look, I understand that they've lost 11 of the last 12. 4 of those losses have come by 5 or less. They had a 7-point loss. They had an 8-point loss. They're bringing effort every night. Celtics are not a team I worry about with injuries, but this isn't the spot to lay with Boston. Philly or pass. I think it's too many points. I think the Sixers are live dogs this evening.
Teddy Covers, Paul Bowman in our chat room. He likes the Knicks tonight. Let's take apart that game. LA -3. 230 is the total here. This LA team, they are looking really, really good. They've won 7 in a row. And Some of the games have been close, but there's also been a lot of blowouts. They just blew out New Orleans 136-115. They played the Clippers twice, held them to 102 in both games, held Dallas to 99. This Lakers team is playing great offensively and defensively, and they're a short favorite tonight. Are you with Paul? Do you like the Knicks, or are you going to the Lakers?
So I'm not stepping in front of LA. Plain and simple. I mean, the Lakers, what are they now? 17-3 straight up their last 20 games. 8-2 with Luka, but the two losses both come with asterisks. They're the one game before the All-Star break and the one game right after the All-Star break that they lost. They were flat as a pancake in both contests. Remember, they had to come back a day earlier than everyone else to play that game against Charlotte. Really, when they've been focused, they're 8-0 with the new mix. And 17-3 the last 20, 17-1 when they've been focused in their last 18. I mean, this is a one-way team. And LA's season-long stats are lying. What do we look for in the NBA? A situation where a team's playing here, but their stats say they're playing here. And the Lakers' season-long stats are mediocre. They're not a mediocre team right now. And I am worried about LA's injuries. Austin Reeves missed the last couple of games. Rui Hachimura has been out for the last 3. I don't think either one of those guys is going to play tonight for LA. And, when we talk about the impact injuries that don't necessarily affect the point spread, both Reeves and Hachimura are guys that fall into that category for me, impact players that don't move the number. That being said, the Knicks have been a point spread disaster area for the better part of the last month. All right, they continue. They won a bunch of games, and they stole a bunch of games during this span. They beat Chicago in overtime. They beat Atlanta in overtime. They stole a win against the Sixers when the game that they trailed in the fourth quarter. They stole a win in Memphis when Anunoby hit a 3 in the closing seconds. They stole a win against Miami. They rallied from 19 down to win an OT. And I'll give them credit for stealing these victories. The Knicks' fourth quarter execution has been tremendous. And they found a way to steal those ball games. They could have Karl Anthony Towns back in the lineup tonight as well, and that matters for the Knicks. But the Lakers are the value team right now. The Lakers are the team whose full season stats don't equate with the current form. For me, Lakers are a one-way team at this stage of the campaign. If I'm getting involved, I'm putting my money on the surging LA Lakers. So I guess that means no. I do not agree with the comment in the chat,
Paul.
That being said, if you want the Knicks, find a 3.5, and then if the Lakers win by 3, you'll cash your ticket.
Great segment, Teddy. Broke those games down brilliantly. I've always said I think you're the best breakdowner of games out of anybody, and I've said it to you. I've said it on air. I mean, you might be annoying as shit, but you can break down a game. You are as annoying as shit, but you can break down a game better than anyone. And guys, this is the kind of analysis you get when you buy Teddy's plays. I mean, Teddy, it's not just a pick, right? I mean, you're writing a paragraph or two of information.
Yeah, I'll take the over. I've been doing write-ups now for 27 years. I get them done fairly quickly. But I take my time. I give you guys the info that the rationale behind whatever bets I make. And it's been a good March so far, 67% across sports. It's been a good run in the NBA. The college hoops is finally showing signs.
Yeah.
So great time to get on board. I love March. Last year, 49-29 plus 53 units this month. And I'm looking to do it again.
Wonderful stuff. Lots of love, my brother. Call me one of these days, hey? We should catch up, dude.
Call me after the show. I look forward to it.
Well, I'm out for lunch with my daughter after the show. Then I got to go to the bank.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to the dispensary. Yes, I love the dispensary. Remember the old days where finding weed was so hard? Oh, my God. The shit we had to... Dude, when I used to fly into it like Vegas and I had to find weed, oh my God, dude. And you used to be with me and I'd be like, yeah, my guy's coming to drop it off. And then I would get like too much and I wouldn't want, I didn't know what to do with it. I used to find like a place where I would bury it but under a rock. And like 6 months later, when I'm back in Vegas, I go get it. Not anymore, dude. Now you just hop in a car and drive to a dispensary. Anyway, why are we even discussing this, Teddy?
We're not. I'm not even talking anymore. It's all you. You're the only one on the camera. Yeah. That was your segue, Lawrence. And on that, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching WagerTalk TV. We appreciate those likes. We appreciate the comments very, very much. And what do we got? 200,000? Have we gotten to 200,000 yet? I keep saying just shy of 200,000.
We're just shy of 197. It's so damn close. I really want to get to 200. I think 200,000 is a big deal, dude. Like, oh my God. I mean, we would never have thought we were ever going to get there when we started this channel. Anyway, thanks for doing this, Teddy. Lots of love, my brother. Okay, guys, we've got it. We got a great show lined up. We got Kyle Anthony coming on. We got Andy Lang. Andy's got some dart plays, some NBA plays, some golf plays. Slightly confused here, Dan. Who is my next guest? Normally, Andy is number 2, but the schedule says Kyle is next. Hello, Dan? Who's my next guest, Dan? It is Kyle. Okay, well, you know what? Let's put him on hold for a sec. So, get rid of him, man. We don't need people gazing into his eyes yet. I just wanted to say I lost my NHL play last night for my clients. I've now lost 2 in a row. Oh, it was a tough loss last night. We had the Rangers. We took it into overtime. They even had an empty net opportunity at the beginning of overtime and missed it. And then Washington scored the game winner. We're back tonight with a play. I lost 2 last week, 2 in a row. I lost Wednesday and Thursday night last week, 2 in a row, and then I won my next 3. So I think tonight is an important swing game for me. I don't want to be on an 0-3 run coming into tomorrow. So my apologies to everybody. We did lose one last night, but still the hockey has been absolutely outstanding. I'm also going to go down every game on the board later on in the show and give you bets for all of those games. Kyle Anthony, what's going on, my friend? How you been?
Good, man. Good. I'm really looking forward to the changing of this hair blossoming out and seeing the different levels of ridiculousness. I feel like it's going to look like. This is like a 1 in every 7 year kind of thing, like the locusts or something. This is like.
It's like the yo-yo. I don't know if you know this, off topic, but the yo-yo was only launched for 10 months every 7 years since it was invented. And they would pull it off the shelves after 10 months. And if stores wanted to continue selling the yo-yo, they would not get any more yo-yos ever again. It was an incredible marketing technique by the yo-yo company. So I am following the yo-yo with my hair. And my hair is yo-yoing. There are probably people in this chat room and who listen to this show that don't even know what a yo-yo is. Anyway, let's move on, brother. Who cares about my stupid hair? I have a woman, I get laid, nothing else matters. Mairon Santos, Francis Marshall. They're fighting against each other this weekend. You like Marshall at plus 250. Brother, you come on every week with these juicy dogs. I love it. Tell us why we should bet Mairon Francis Marshall. Go ahead.
We got another juicy plus money here, and we got Mairon Santos. He's minus 310 on the comeback here. We've got Francis Marshall plus 250. Now these are 2 young rising prospects. You've got Santos, 24 years old. You got Marshall, 25 years old. But to me, this line is wide. It almost doesn't matter who wins here. The line is absolutely wide, and I think it's really recency bias from both of their last fights, where you've got Santos coming off a knockout victory in his UFC debut against a wrestler. And then you've got Francis Marshall, who goes out there against Dennis Bazooka, not the greatest fighter overall, but although he got the victory, this was a short notice fight for Francis Marshall up a weight class. And he still was able to be scrappy enough to get the victory. And I think that does say a lot about his trajectory. And then you look at, Santos here, where he is going to be the better striker. There's no doubt he's going to have the striking advantage. He's good at range. He's got fast hands. There are those things that he does have. Now, the glaring hole in his game is going to be his takedown defense. And the only wrestler that really pushed a wrestling pace against him is his only loss. And that was Dan Argueta outside of the UFC. He got multiple takedowns. He mauled Santos and ended up getting the second round stoppage. And that's also why I think that people are looking at that Santos victory over Con Offley in his debut, because Con Offley is a wrestler. But the problem there is that Con Offley didn't shoot a takedown in the entire fight. Also, Offley is small for the division, has alligator arms. It was like a perfect scenario for Santos to land big shots, get the finish. Now on Saturday, he's about to face Francis Marshall, who is a tough, strong wrestler who's going to push the pace, who's going to push forward, who's going to smother really anything that I think that Santos can offer up. He's going to be worrying about the threat of the takedowns, not making him very comfortable there. And also the physicality and strength advantages both also definitely favor Francis Marshall here. So I think the cardio, the relentless takedowns are going to be there for Marshall. Line is wide. I also like the fact that he's training at American Top Team, which is one of the best gyms that out there. And at 25 years old, he's going to continue to make improvements, come in with a great game plan. So at plus 250, I think this line is off, and I absolutely like the dog or pass spot here on Francis Marshall.
Kyle, you mentioned 25 years old. I was looking at those pictures and I was like, are these two guys legal? Oh my God, do they? Listen, it's old eyes that are looking, but man, those two, neither of them shave. The white guy for sure does not shave. Take that to the bank, bro. Okay, so let's get into a Brunno Ferreira against Armen Petrosyan. Again, you favor the dog. Fill us in.
Yeah, so here we've got Armen Petrosyan. He's minus 155. And the comeback here, you've got Brunno Ferreira. He's plus 130. Now, this is going to be a high-volume striker in Petrosyan versus a power striker in Brunno Ferreira. And overall, when you're just looking at just the style here, definitely the better striker is going to be Petrosyan. He is better technically. I think he does push out the better volume, a little bit more polished combinations there, and that can help him. The thing about it is that he's not very dangerous, and he doesn't really put much on his punches. Now he's about to face somebody who has absolute power in Brunno Ferreira here, who's going to push forward, who's going to crash the pocket, who's going to be throwing big shots. And the thing about Armen is that he really wants like a clean, rangy kind of kickboxing fight, and that really is where he tries to find success, just not having a gunfight, not having some brawl in the center of the cage. And you've got Brunno, who's going to crash the pocket, who's going to push forward, who's going to look to really throw the big shots. And that, I think, is going to cause a ton of problems for Petrosyan, who wants space to work, at range. And I think that's where you're going to see Ferreira find a lot of success. The other angle here is the wrestling. And that's definitely something I think he can do here, where, historically, Ferreira has not been a guy that has found a lot of takedowns. He has one takedown out of his 6 UFC fights, so not a lot, although 5 of his 6 fights did end in the first round, so he didn't even have an opportunity to get that opportunity going. For Petrosyan here, it's an absolute vulnerability. Out of his 7 UFC fights, he's been taken down 15 times. That's a 31% takedown defense rate. I don't think that that's very good at all. I think if Brunno's going to push forward, he can crash the pocket with the bigger shots, closing the distance, or pushing forward and looking for those takedowns. And lastly, why I think this line is where it is and where the market opened it is because of the most recent fight for Brunno, where Brunno fought Avis Magomedov. Avis is a terrible matchup for Brunno. 6-inch reach advantage, has good wrestling, and I think that's where you're going to see here that he's not going to have to face those things. He's going to have the wrestling advantage. He's going to have the reach advantage. So in this spot here, I do like Brunno Ferreira to get the job done at that plus money number.
Man, this is a high energy show from Teddy to Kyle. We're going to end with Mr. Energy himself, Gianni. Awesome stuff, Kyle. Great show. Teddy's breakdowns are incredible. You are really good at this, dude. Love having you on every Thursday talking UFC. What do you have to promote for the clients?
Yeah, so this Saturday, big card, UFC 313. I've got 5 plays up right now, and normally, I'm very selective with my plays, and that's how we have found long-term success. 3 to 4 plays. I'm probably going to have 6, maybe 7 plays for this card. Already have a 5% play up right now. Over the last 12 months, we're 78% winner on those plays. So feeling good about it. Got a great card this Saturday. And as well as, again, we've got about 6 or 7 more cards before we have like 1 week off and then another range of UFC fights. So really excited about it. And lock in WagerTalk.com.
Okay, Kyle, go. Leave now. Thank you, Kyle Anthony. Kyle Anthony, everyone. Hey, guys, hit that like button, please. 100 of you have not hit that like button. And as Gianni said yesterday, I mean, it just takes a second. Literally, there's just no reason to be in this. Like, we're 26 minutes into the show. If you're still here, you clearly like what's going on. What did Bill Sandoval write? Prez, you need to think about hiring B Daddy. Dude's ridiculous with his picks. Well, B Daddy, we don't need to hire you. Why don't you just give us your picks every day in the chat? I'll read them out for a little while. I'll tell you something, and bring Andy on. Andy, you're in the chat room every day. I'm in the chat room every day, and I'll tell you, and I mean this is not buttering up anybody. We got some exceptionally talented sports bettors in that chat room. I mean, B Daddy, you're right. The guy is a killer. Woj knows his stuff, dude. And I mean, everybody, Bill Sandoval, Titans. I'll put our chat room of bettors against any group on the planet. So I will read B Daddy's picks if he's on a roll. Thoughts?
So you're 100% right. And I will also tell you that of my team, Corbin, Jim, and Jan, I all met in chat rooms or Discord. There are some exceptional bettors out there. So B Daddy's been doing this for a while. He always posts plays. Remember, he would post when we were doing the live NBA show. Yeah, he's one of the real ones. He's absolutely worth the follow.
I am with you on that. So there you go, B Daddy. Let us know what you're betting. I'll read it out on the show. Andy, I almost watched darts. And then I didn't. So I didn't.
Well, they had a huge tournament over the weekend. It was fire. It was so exciting. It was so fun.
Okay, it wasn't fire, Andy. You're not 20. I don't even know what that means. And we like the term oven on the show. We're trying to still create that as a thing.
Okay.
Was it lit? Did you fuck with that?
It was the littest.
The littest of all litness?
It was the littest. It was, Littler was lit.
Like Lewis
you can't
lit.
Be more, yeah, you couldn't be more lit. And you can't spell Luke Littler without lit. How about that? Boom.
Wow. Okay. Enough with the nonsense. Give us a darts bet.
Okay, well, first off, I do think the Luke Darley is in play, so you could do that. But I'm going to focus on Chris Dobie and Luke Littler to go over 7.5 180s in their match. These guys are by far the best at throwing 180s in the Premier League. Dobie has thrown 5 180s each of the last 2 weeks at Premier League, and the last 2 weeks, this is not a made up stat. Luke Littler threw 10 180s in one match last week. The other one, he threw 5. And what you see here, Prez, is Littler is so good and he's so aggressive that his opponents have to try and keep up. So they have to be aggressive and go after these 180s. So that's why you get these high totals on the 180s. So take Dobie and Littler, the 2 best 180 throwers in the Premier League, to go over 7.5 today.
That was lit.
It was awesome.
Yeah, no, awesome is too old a term, dude. It was fire. It was lit. I will F with that. What else do those kids say? I don't know, dude. Let's move on to KCP. I love these hyphenated names. I love that, and I've mentioned this before. I love that we're in the first generation of the hyphenated names. I can't wait for the second generation, dude. I can't wait for Caldwell Pope to marry a woman who refuses to give up her name, and she becomes, something with a something, and then their son then has 4 names with 3 hyphens. It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, why not? Anyway, I'm talking rubbish. What is Kentavious Caldwell Pope going to win money for us tonight? What's he going to do? How are we going to bet him? How are we going to take advantage of this guy?
We're going to keep doing what we've been doing, and that's fading him on his under 1.5 made 3-pointers. He's gone under in 11 straight games, Prez. 11. This is an Orlando Magic team that makes 10.8 3-pointers per game. That is by far worst in the NBA. So as a team, they don't make very many. He is going under. And listen to this, Prez. The last 5 games, he's averaging 1.8 3-point attempts. It's really hard to make 2 3-pointers when you're not even shooting 2 3-pointers per game.
Yeah.
They're giving that's math.
Why is this number wait, stop. Timeout. So this guy on average does not shoot the ball 2 times from behind the 3, and the line is 1.5. Why?
Yes.
Explain why. Let's go with the other side. Let's go bold here.
Okay.
KCP over 1.5. Tell me why that would happen.
He's playing the Bulls, who are not very good on defense.
That's it.
That's all I got. That's all I got. I know, he's not out there to make 3-pointers. Paolo Banchero and Wagner for Orlando shoot the ball 1 million times per game. He just doesn't shoot the ball that often. And when he does, he's not accurate. He's shooting 34% this year from threes. We have just kept playing this. If you guys have followed me on social media, I've kept talking about this play. This is one of those lazy lines that the books just put out there. But also, Prez, here's the other thing. He does normally make 1. In the last 11 games, he has made 1 in 8 of them. So if they lower this to half, I think I would take the over. But as long as they're giving us 1.5, I'm playing it. I played this at -200 for clients. And you would say, well, -200 is a ridiculous price. Not when it's hit 11 times in a row. So you're just taking KCP under 1.5 made 3s.
Okay, Andy, I got to stop the show for a second. B Daddy, what is your record right now? Put it in the chat room. People are bragging about you. I want to know what your run is, okay? Waj, Scott C, Sean, Frank, Bill, whoever knows B Daddy's run, I want to know it. So let me know. Okay, Andy, that bet baffles me. I think I'm going to make it. That was some good shit, bro. Flat out. I mean, this whole segment has been lit. Xander Schauffele. I freaking love the name Xander.
It's great.
Such a quality name.
It's great.
Why did
name.
my parents not come up with that name for me? I mean, I'm their firstborn, Andy. It's not like I was their 700th child and they'd run out of first names. They were like, oh my God, our firstborn son. Let's give him the greatest male name in history of the world. Ooh, what might that be? Let's go with Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence, best name ever. Oh my!
I've always been partial.
God.
I've always been partial to the name D'Artagnan. I would love to be named after a medieval knight. But Xander is quality. Yeah. So let's talk Xander Schauffele. I'm going to take his over 73.5. This is a big number. That means he has to shoot +2 or worse when he tees off. But Prez, I've been watching this tournament all morning, and it is brutal. The wind is kicking up. The greens are hard. So the ball is rolling. It's brutal conditions. 45 guys have teed off. Only 14 of them are even or better. And here's the biggest thing. This is his first tournament back since the rib injury. And I'm going to sound like Teddy here. Read the quotes. He said, I just need to get some reps before the Masters. He does not sound like he's 100% healthy. And for your first round back of professional golf, to be at this course with 4 inches of thick rough with wind kicking, I think this is a nightmare scenario. And here's the other thing. He hasn't finished top 20 ever at this course. So this is a course that he doesn't play with good. I don't think he's 100% healthy. It's tough when you got a world-class player and you need him to shoot +2 or worse, but that's where we're going with it. Conditions are just too hard. I don't trust him to have a good round.
Andy Lang. Man, Andy, you're killing it, brother. Great sweater, by the way. Haven't seen that design. What do you got going for the clients tonight?
Yeah, it was nice to get off the schneid last night. We cashed our only client play in the NBA, which was that the pick we talked about on the show, the Milwaukee Bucks over their team total, never in doubt. But we're stressing long term, so we're running the same special. Buy 2 months, get one free. WD.buzz/AL. Number 1 last 365 days. Number 1 last 2 years. These plays like Contavious Caldwell-Pope under 1.5 3-pointers, the ones that people are just missing, those are the ones that we take advantage of. This is how we build bankrolls. This is how we create passive income and how we build our bankrolls up. So we're always going to be running long-term specials. I don't want to run specials on just one play because we take the long-term approach, and it's been paying off brilliantly for ourselves and for clients. So take advantage of that. It's a great special. I mean, you're getting 33% off of 3 months. So that's at WT.buzz/AL. Let's have a great Thursday. Good luck on your plays, everyone.
Okay. Awesome. Andy Lang. Okay, so guys are in the chat room. They're talking about B Daddy. He's rolling. So B Daddy, while Andy was talking, I went behind the scenes with the great Johnny Detroit and the incredible Dan Alexander. And well, you can come on the show tomorrow if you want. You can come on to WagerTalk Today and you can give out your picks live on air. All I need you to do is email customer service or get a hold of Dan. Dan, get a hold of B Daddy. Who does he email, Dan? Put it in the chat room. B Daddy, come on the show tomorrow. Let's meet you. Let's meet you face to face. And you can give out your picks live on air. How about that? That'll be fun. That'll be a really great segment. Also, just to remind everybody, Johnny jumped into the chat room. My poker segment yesterday was very well received. It was way too long, but that was because I hadn't prepared for it. But it was quite well received. And as a result, we are going to bring on one of, if not the greatest tournament poker player in history. We're going to bring him on this show in the beginning of May, right before the WSOP. We're going to do a deep dive into poker. We're going to talk about hands to play, etc. But also we're going to talk about how to navigate through the WSOP. This is a guy who won the main event. That is correct. We are going to bring on a guest who won the main event. So stay with us. And also, don't forget, March 31st, I am launching a brand new show with a ex-NHL player that is also going to be amazing. So B Daddy, I want to see you on the show tomorrow, dude. All you need is a computer and a camera, and Dan will organize the rest. We still have Gianni the Greek coming on. But before we get into that, let's take apart every single NHL game on the board. Let's start right off the bat with Winnipeg playing Philadelphia. And man, short number for Winnipeg here. Coming off of 3 losses in a row. And also, they've lost 4 straight against Philadelphia head-to-head. So I'm looking here at this Winnipeg team, minus 135. Look, I think Philadelphia is a fade team moving forward. They did lose to Calgary 6-3. They've lost 2 of their last 3. But they have lost 4. They have won 4 of 6. The bottom line is I think we're going to have to look to bet against Philadelphia. And I think this is a bad spot for them and a good spot for Winnipeg. Take Winnipeg. It's anywhere from minus 135 to minus 150. I'm good with all of that. Buffalo playing Tampa Bay. I love the over in this game, guys. And I'm looking to take the over in every Buffalo game moving forward. They're playing against a Tampa Bay team. This Tampa Bay team coming off of a 6-2 win against Columbus. This team is scoring. They only put up one against Florida, but before that, 6-3, 3-4, 4-5, 6-5-4. Are you kidding me? Take the over in the Buffalo-Tampa Bay game. As for Boston and Carolina, I like the under in this game. I think we're going to see a low-scoring game, and I think we should be looking to bet Carolina under the total all the way through. Columbus playing Florida tonight. I like the over in this game. Quite unbelievable that we're getting a 6 in any game that Columbus is involved in. And I understand that Florida is an under team, but they're not that much of an under team. They're actually 30-30 to the under this year. So it's not like this Florida team is some under juggernaut. Now, I know they're playing great defense. Great. I mean, oh my God. You want to talk about great 7-game stretch? 1 goal, 0, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Only one time in 7 games has a team scored over 3, but Columbus, they always score. I like the over in that game. As for Utah and Detroit, I like Detroit here, guys. I think this is a good spot for Detroit and a bad spot for Utah. And Detroit's entire season is, I mean, they got to win. They cannot lose a 4th game in a row. They're 2 out of the playoff. Seattle, Nashville, take under the total. Dallas and Calgary, I like over in this game. Calgary finally scored. They put up a 6 spot. Scoring comes in bunches. Dallas is scoring at will. Take over the total, and I like over the total as well in Edmonton and Montreal. And I like over the total as well in Colorado and San Jose. That's every single NHL game on the board. I have one client play up tonight. It's going to win. Let's bring Gianni the Greek in. How are you, my friend?
Never better, President. I got the glasses on because I got something to share. Even more surprised than Austrian hockey yesterday. And what I didn't know about the Austrian hockey game is that it doesn't go off until the 6th. So that's today. So still time to get down on that Austrian hockey. But I looked at the number now. It's at 6. So we went under 6.5. It's now at 6. So definitely caught some steam there. And don't forget to remind me of NHL because we bet one NHL game as well. But here's what I just fired right now. Can't release it to subscribers, obviously, because we probably moved the line. But French, this is in France. It's rugby. It's rugby. And we're betting.
Oh, I love that.
Bet number 235900, Suya Angulme. So the first name, Soyaux, Soyaux, Angouleme. Since you're Canadian, you can probably pronounce it a lot better than me. So that's Suya, Angouleme. We laid minus 175 all the way up to minus 200 on the money line and minus 4.5 and 5. So I guess that's the point line as well. So yeah, that's a rugby league game. And the NHL game we bet, but now I'm looking at the line and that's gone. So probably no value at all. We bet Utah at -1 up to minus 115. They were looking for even money. I said the best I could get is 115. They instant message back, lay it. So I laid minus 115. But now it's up to like minus 130. So I wouldn't bet it. I can't release that to subscribers. So someone's probably sitting or something like that in the Utah-Detroit game.
Gianni, do you know there's 2 types of rugby? There's rugby league and rugby union.
That's what this is, rugby union. This is union.
Well, you said league, and that is a completely different form of rugby. And I'll really quickly, it's very interesting. Rugby union is what we know as rugby. So it's a game that has constant movement. Rugby league allows a team to have 6 downs, just like in the NFL. So you have 6 tries to score, and then you have to give the ball up to the other team. More of a field position style of a game, more of a Red Rover-ish kind of a concept where you go 6 times, we go 6 times, you go 6 times. And the other thing is there's no rucks or mauls in rugby league.
Yeah, it's definitely union. The reason I said league is because it's on the bet that I just placed, it says League France Pro. So it's the French Pro League, but union is the rugby union as the sport. So yeah. Good. Thank you for clarifying that.
Joseph Alvarado writes, Prez knows hockey because he's Canadian. Prez knows rugby because he's South African. Prez knows cricket because he lived in Australia for 3 years. Find me a sport that Prez doesn't know. Try that one, Joe. I live, eat, sleep, and breathe this shit, bro. Anyway. Lacrosse. I know lacrosse, Dan. I'm Canadian, bro. Of course I know lacrosse. John Tavares' father is arguably the second greatest lacrosse player ever, behind only John Tavares' uncle. Bring on another sport, big boy.
Wow.
Okay, Gianni. So, what else do we got to talk about, dude? NHL, UFC. What do we got going for the UFC card?
Big card. I already gave out 5 plays in the UFC. This is a really stacked card here at T-Mobile Arena. Which one should I bring up? I'm going to bring up one that the line's starting to move against me. And that's Armen Petrosyan against Brunno Ferreira. I love the Petrosyan side. He's coming off back-to-back losses, so we get a little recency bias there. But here's the key. Ferreira has to win in the first round. So this could be a great live bet as well, because if Ferreira comes out on fire and it appears to win that first round but doesn't get Petrosyan out of there, you'll get a ton of value on the Petrosyan side, because this is going to be a stand-up affair. Ferreira's not going to be able to implement any of his grappling at all against Petrosyan. He'll keep it standing, and that's where he'll start to take over, because he's one of those elite kickboxers, Armenian kid, tough as nails. So you should get the Armenians from LA here in Vegas, kind of like a home field advantage as well. Back to the wall. And this is a perfect matchup for him because, like I said, it will stay standing. And if you look at his strike differential, it's about 4x greater than Ferreira. And more importantly, his strength of schedule, it's not even close. I mean, he's lost to better guys than Ferreira's beaten. The difference is Ferreira's got that one-shot knockout power, that eraser. Yeah. Like I say, you could make mistakes throughout the whole 5 minutes, but you land that one shot in 3 seconds and the fight's over. But I think Petrosyan has the defense to avoid that. So I like the Petrosyan side. I really do. Like I said, I'm on an island with that one, and I'm also on an island with the co-main event. Everybody's on Gaethje. They love Gaethje as a dog. Gaethje 6-3 as a dog. The way he got knocked out by Max Holloway in his last fight, few people bounce back and look like they did prior when you get that kind of devastating knockout. And the one thing that tends to go is the chin. It starts to weaken little by little by little. We all know that. So, yeah, I like, again, those are 2 bets that I'm on an island on, because I know everybody's on the Gaethje side. And, I like the opposite there. And Huffy over King Green by knockout. The line's too high to lay the money line, but he gets it done by knockout. Speed goes first in age. He's got about a 10-year age advantage on King Green. And the difference is this guy fights with his hands down. You could do that when you're younger. Use that slick boxing, get out of the way. But as you age, if speed is your greatest asset, that's what tends to go first. Yeah. Huffy by knockout. So there's a couple UFC plays for you for Saturday.
That's great stuff, dude. Love having you on. Okay, so Johnny Detroit in the chat room with a mic drop, Gianni. So I say, what sport don't I know? And Johnny says, college basketball, clearly.
He could say that about me with baseball after last year, but if you look at the big picture, you'll say, dude, did this guy play pro baseball?
Yeah. So
you got to look at the bigger picture.
So last year, I was number 2 most profitable college basketball expert. I was 61% on the whole season. The year before,
cherry picking.
This year, and it's so bad. Gianni, last year was incredible in college hoops. The year before was incredible in college hoops. This year is so bad. It's so bad. It is so. I'm going to give out both my college basketball bets tonight.
Do it.
They're gonna lose. I can't win a college hoops game, bro. I'm on Abilene Christian +3, +3.5, and Seattle University -6.5. I am on a college basketball total tonight. That, my friend, is the one thing I've been winning all year. All year, I've been winning college basketball totals. I'll give that out too. Why not? The over in Cleveland State. So now you have all three of my client plays in college basketball. And you know what? I'll do it again tomorrow. And another person writes, I don't know snooker. I don't know snooker. Is that a
Jimmy
joke?
Superfly? I watched him come off the top ropes at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Please don't talk Jimmy Superfly snooker.
I know Jimmy's. Yeah, and not only that, but Jimmy Superfly Snooker allegedly murdered his own wife. So I know lots about Jimmy Superfly Snooker. And as far as actual snooker goes, Judd Trump, #1 snooker player in the world from England. Canada has been incredible in snooker. We had a guy named Cliff Thorburn, 2 perfect games. 147 is a perfect game. I know everything about snooker.
Wow. Go on YouTube and watch Snooker at Piper's Pit. Probably one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best things you'll ever see. You'll ever watch Snooker and Piper's Pit.
Dude, we're giving Johnny Wood right now. Gold. Johnny has one of those luchador masks. Like Johnny is hardcore, bro. Hardcore wrestler guy. I actually watched the first 30 minutes of Raw this week. I haven't seen wrestling in a million years.
Everybody's doing it. Yep, everyone's doing it because it's on Prime.
Cena's back. No, it's on Netflix. Cena's back. Right. Cena's back. The Rock is back. I think one of them is is in WrestleMania, which is in your city, Gianni. WrestleMania is in Las Vegas. Go, dude, go for both of us. Please,
bro,
go.
I didn't know it was here. Go. I'm doing it. Are you kidding? That's one of the best events you could go to. I'm all over it. I'm all over it.
I think it's April 17th. I could be wrong. Anyway, B Daddy, if you want to come on the show tomorrow, please get a hold of Dan through Twitter or email customer support. We would love to have you on. You're currently 8-2. I have deep respect for all of you guys in the chat room. Johnny, we're talking about this before. We got some killer sports bettors in our chat room, dude.
Of course. They're not in there by accident.
Oh, Michael Panza, he wants to know, do I know curling? Do I know curling? The Briar is going on right now. Brad Gushu, best curler in the world. Plus, we got female curling. Beautiful. Homan, best female curler on the planet. Do I know curling? Shit. Come on, dude. There's no sport I don't know.
That's automatic. Yeah. Like people do that and act like they're smarter than they are online because they have that Google ready to go. There's no search engine in Prez's pocket. No. He's just firing away.
No, you want to talk squash, badminton? You want to talk padel, pickleball? There is no sport I don't know. Gianni, what else do you got? And we'll call it a show.
Yeah, let me give you some NBA because I got an NBA prop for you. I know bettors like the props. So let's go in that Atlanta-Indiana game. We got Karis LeVert over total rebounds, over 3.5, good up to -120. And then here's another NBA total for you, 557. Houston, New Orleans, over 228.5. Let me give you some college basketball as well. Prez, we're on the same side, brother. 766, Abilene Christian, plus the 3.5. So we're on that same side with Abilene Christian. Let me give you an Atlantic Sun Conference semifinal. Under 143, Jacksonville, North Alabama. Missouri Valley Conference first round. Let's go with Valpo, plus the 4.5. Let's go to the Summit League quarterfinals and lay the 9.5 with St. Thomas. And usually the last game on the board, let's take the 2 with Hawaii as well. So I got a lot of information, still working through it, obviously, but there's some steam for you guys that we already fired on. And real quickly, I said I was going to announce it here first. The date has been set. The very first class for the Blackjack Seminar is Tuesday, March 18th. We launch. And I just check out my Twitter. You will see the interview I did with Anthony Curtis, legend in Blackjack Hall of Fame inductee. So really good stuff there. Check out that link that I put out. And again, if you're joining us for that Blackjack seminar, you will get so much out of it, and a free steam room on Saturday. We'll be going over college basketball, NBA, some MLB season win totals, UFC 313, and I'm there to answer all your questions as well. So I said this is a huge couple days, a big weekend for us. We're going to deliver, brother. We're going to deliver.
What a kick-ass show. This was my favorite show of the week so far. We got a great one tomorrow. Ralph Michaels will be joining us. He's going to give us a bunch of betting tips on the NCAA conference tournament. He's also going to take apart Purdue and Illinois, the Knicks and the Clippers. Andrew Babatakis on as well from the Westgate to do UFC. Carmine Bianco for hockey. Andy Lang, Gianni, that's 5 guests. And if B Daddy gets hold of Dan, we might have our first ever six guest show. Love you all. Let's have some winning bets tonight. We'll see you all tomorrow.